Okay, guys, it's magazine review time. BMX Action Magazine, January 1985. On the cover, we got Kevin Special K Collins. 1985 was an awesome year. Back to the Future came out. I was probably 14, 15 years old. Just a great year to be a kid, great time to be a kid. And here is Kevin Collins himself. I found this one on Google. Kevin Special K Collins. Look at all those trophies. Factory Hutch and Factory Mongoose. That's all I could really find on Kevin. Obviously, this dude was super fast. He's living every kid's dream on the cover of BMX Action. I hope he finds this video, and I definitely hope he has this magazine still. Let's get into it, guys. Well, welcome back, guys. Here we go. Brand new magazine. This one's going to be January 1985, BMX Action. Hopefully the lighting's good enough in here. I did this it's early afternoon. It's about 12:52, and the sun is on the other side of my house. So we're just going to do the best we can. This is where I'm most comfortable in my office. So let's get busy. All right, so we already went over the cover, so let's just get straight into the magazine. We got Dear Whiz here, trackside, what inquiring minds want to know. Testing the GT Mach 1 today, we're going to check that out. Racing Schwinn, Levi's NBL Grand National, so we're going to check out the NBL Grands today. Testing the CWZ3000, CW's new pro size Zoot Scoot, under microscope and under fire, so we'll check that out. Sanitation department, hot goodies for your bike and bod. And then finally our outtakes, high and dry, but not for long. So we're going to take a look at this and let's have some fun. Let's open it up. All right, typical beginning. We got some ads here. Chromo lights, one-piece cranks. These pedals right here, I think these are really nice. I never seen these before, but they have a wider platform than would be like a Sun Tour or maybe even a Hutch pedal. So I do like those pedals. Never tried them, but I do appreciate the way they look. Look at Rob Fade, looking really cool there. This dude was ripped up. All right, let's get into it, guys. Let's go to the next page here. Oh, here we go. This bike is super iconic, man. And what I've noticed a lot recently is that a lot of the old school freestyle bikes, they're now coming back as 29ers. And also they're bringing back some of these iconic original Haro freestyle bikes. And my ex-brother-in-law, he just bought one. He was over here talking to me. He was admiring my bikes. You know, we were checking them out, and he told me I just picked up that Haro, and I don't think he paid like $1,000 for it. I don't know exactly, but yeah, things are definitely coming back. All the repops of all this stuff. It's so cool to see it. Look at the frame, man. That's really, really cool. Really well done. Let's go. Oh, we got Viscount dyno seat. I actually had a Viscount seat. It came on that this old bike I got. It was a Sakaya. It was like a Taiwan bike, and I think I've talked about it before, but it came with one of these seats. It's basically just like a Cashmax, the same shape and everything. Really cool seat. I didn't have any complaints there. I think I traded it for another seat though. Crush the competition. What is this? Laser. Don't know what laser is. Let's see, Fern. Like they made this look kind of like Rad a little bit with the fence and all that. But funny thing is I think this came out right before Rad did, because I want to say Rad was 86, but they could have been filming it right around that time. And I was just listening to an older podcast. It was with Mike Miranda and the Dirty Knobs guys, and I was listening to the Bill Allen interview, and they were talking to him about making the movie Rad, and he never even owned a bike, guys. And he was the star of the movie, but we still loved it. And they made him an honorary BMX brother, they said in the podcast. It was awesome. Oh, check out this Schwinn ad, full 2-page ad. We got the Mongoose Expert. Check it out. We got Eric Roop here. And then Billy Griggs. I met Billy Griggs in 1993. We had a national in Sonoma, California, and at the time, my parents and still live in Sonoma, but I lived in Sonoma at the time. There was no way I was going to miss that national. I raced both days. I think I got third one day, and then other than that, I got beat up pretty good. But I got to meet Billy Griggs. I got a photo of him. I'll try to attach it up here later if I can. But that was a great meet up with Billy. He was a really nice guy. Just took the time to sign an autograph, and then I got the photo. I actually brought a magazine with me. I had him sign the magazine for me, and then we took a photo. It was a really cool moment for me. He was on Haro at the time. It was really cool. Let's keep going. We got Dear Whiz here. You know, sometimes I like to just read these old things. I don't want to read them too much here because it's just going to make this video too long. But these are really cool. He says, "Dear Wiz, how come you never answer my letters?" And he says he never put a taco in them before. I'm kind of hungry right now. Maybe I should have had lunch thinking about that. It says only 10 feet. Can you tell my mom, my old, wait a minute. Can you tell my mom and my old man that you can screw up a bike by jumping it only, you can't screw up a bike by only jumping it 10 feet in the air? What kind of question is that? But the answer was, I may be a little slow, but I ain't stupid. You tell him, Jason. And that was from Oz. And then they're right here, they're saying dump freestyle. Now, there was a lot of freestyle racing controversy, back then because the racers like me were really hanging on to racing, and then the freestyling thing was just taking over. As I'm older now, I really appreciate what freestyle did. I mean, look at that. That's pretty awesome. It really gave new life to the sport. But it says here, is this really, oh wait, is this really it? Is this the end of, with the production of your new freestyling magazine? Does that mean no more freestyle articles in the mighty BMXA? I sure hope not. I'm still getting your rad magazine, just dying to see these freestyle how-tos. Even if you do, BMX Action will still be my prime choice because you are the best. That's from somebody named Mike Esker out of Ohio. And then they said, heck no, we're not going to axe freestyle in the mighty Action. We kind of look at this magazine as the car and driver of BMX, covering all aspects of the sport, including freestyle, as long as 75% of the actions mail in about freestyle, and it'll be there. So it looks like 75% of the folks that were, or the kids that were involved with BMX and inquiring in the magazine were related to freestyle really at the time. And that just goes to show you how big it was at the time, which is really cool. And I remember Freestyling Magazine coming out. That was actually, I think I've talked about it in a few videos back. I had episodes. I had a few issues of Freestyling Magazine, and I actually sold them on eBay recently. And those were the ones that sold for the highest amount, which is ironic. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, wow. This is awesome. Look at this Hutch ad. Full 2 pages. Oh, wow. Look at those frames. That's amazing. Look at Tim Judge. Dude is so rad. Love that. Here's the freestyle stuff here. Look at these cranks. Oh, my gosh. Those are beautiful. I was just watching Rad BMX builds last night, and this guy built up, I want to say it was a Race Inc., and it had these Hutch cranks on it. No, scratch that. It was an actual Hutch with these Hutch cranks, and he admitted these things are super expensive, and he wouldn't have bought them, but the bike he bought came with the cranks, because right now these are really a hot commodity. And these number plates, they're back in circulation. You can actually still buy these. You got your Hutch Pro Star right there, and Hutch Pro Racer. Nice bikes, man. Oh my God, look at this. All the stuff is just beautiful. You get all your total race kit right here. And look at all the sweatshirts. Imagine if you had that totally rad sweatshirt right now. How happy would you be? I would be. Just awesome. #1 team. Everybody said they were #1 though. All right, let's keep going. Oh, this is awesome. Of course, we got GHP, Greg Hill. Greg Hill being my favorite racer pretty much of all time. You got Clint Miller with him right here. This is just a great ad. Look at the look in these guys' eyes. They were all about business. They were all about business. Now, I was re-listening to an interview with Greg Hill. I want to say it was also on the Dirty Knobs podcast. That was one of my favorite interviews, and apparently Greg was really into having fun, making people laugh, doing pranks and all that stuff. But when it came down to racing, that's the Greg you're going to see when you get on the gate with him. So that's pretty awesome. And he talked about his experiences with GHP and how that all went down. So that was pretty cool. We got Burton snowboards here. Honestly, guys, I've never snowboarded. I've never tried it. That's something I should probably put on my bucket list. Let's keep going. And we got some trackside talk here. Big news here, Buckaroos. Bye-bye, Kuwahara. Hello, GHP. And that's Clint Miller. And we just saw the previous ad. So Clint's getting rad right there. And then he joined GHP. That's really cool. Former world champion as well. Got a lot of respect for that dude. And then here we go with the Flight Donuts again. Man, Flight put a lot of money in their advertising. And this is things that I'm just starting to notice now as I'm going over these reviews. They're like in almost every magazine I pull out. And these donuts I wonder how many of these they actually sold. That's something I need to deep dive a little bit, because golly, it's such a simple concept, but everybody had them on their bikes. Okay, let's keep going. We got the GT Mach 1. GT again. Look at, now that Greg's gone, Rob Fade's stepping up. That's the second time I've seen him in an ad. So he was probably their premier guy. for that moment, you know, on GT, because you know Greg went and did his own thing. And okay, this number plate right here, this is the 09. What was this plate called? Moto Control. Okay, this was one of my favorite number plates. I had this on my Haro. I remember when I got this, and normally I was kind of like, I'm gonna run a Haro plate pretty much 99% of the time. If it wasn't Haro, it was definitely 09. And this one's awesome. I love this plate. Once again, don't know what happened to it. I don't know what I did with half my stuff. I really wish I wouldn't have lost it or sold it or gave it away. And let's move on. Oh, here we go. GT Mach 1, priced like an import but built in America. And dude, look at freaking RL, man. Such a photogenic dude. Like, golly, this is why he got so much coverage. I mean, the guy knew how to ride. He could do freestyle. He could do race. And look at that. That's just amazing. Love it. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, Britt Audi. It's weird to see these guys as youngsters, and now they're just grown men with their own families, and you know, and he was killing it. I remember seeing him a lot in magazines. He got a lot of coverage, and at the time, obviously in 1985, he was just a young guy, but a young kid. But now he's like obviously a grown man. But that's a real. He was only 9. You know, that's awesome. Here's a good shot of the Mach 1. This is a great picture right here. A lot of the stuff that oh, this one was by Wendy. A lot of the stuff that Wendy shot and Oz shot. I mean, this is like could be a poster. And I got to say, a lot of these things, if they were able to go back into the archives of BMX Action and just create posters with a lot of the shots that they did here in the magazine, I think they would sell millions of them. That's just, I shouldn't have gave away my own business idea. But can you imagine that? Just getting all the old school stuff, posterize them, and just market them. I think they would sell just tons and tons and tons of them. That's just a great shot. And there's just so many good examples of that. Let's keep going. Here's the price and the specs of the Mach 1. At that time, it was going for $229, fully chrome moly. And you get a great bike for $229. That is awesome. And now this came out this is 1985. And I got to say, in 1985, you know, you mow some lawns, deliver some papers, run some errands, do whatever. You could raise $225. And if you could raise that, or $229, excuse me, you're in the money. You're in it. Look at that. That's a full-on race bike, dude. You go to the track and ride, throw pads on a number plate. That's it. And it's good for a long time. And then small upgrades would make it even better. Great steal. Another great shot of RL there. Looks like he was the only one testing the bike today. And oh, I love this part right here. This was kind of new at the time, because normally the back tube right here would just have been flat, not at an angle. And then they started cutting it at an angle and stamping it with that GT logo right there. That was a super nice touch. I always admired GTs. I don't know why I never had one. I need to maybe build one. Look at this shot, guys. Again, RL, one-footed tabletop, one hand. That's just so rad. I love it. Love it. And this is, remember, this is a $229 bike, and he's just busting it open like this. This is really cool. Let's keep moving. Hot off the press. What is that? It's got Eddie Fiola, Rob Fade, King of the Skate Parks. This must be, oh, Photocross. What is this? Send me the following information. Oh, I guess you could buy these posters. That was just my idea. Now, whatever happened to Photocross, if we can get in contact with Photocross and tell them, hey man, start producing this stuff, and you'll do way better now than you did back then. That was my idea, for God's sakes. Okay, let's keep going. Oh my gosh, guys, here we go. This is amazing. JMC Andy Patterson series and the Daryl Young. Oh my gosh. That is just beautiful. So beautiful. You know what, if I had both of these frames, I don't even think I want to assemble them. I would just want to put them on display. That is beautiful. Oh wow, love that. Oh, let's move on over to Tough Neck. Oh, this is really cool too. Oh, check out this laid back seat post. I remember this laid back seat post with that support in it. I think this is just a lot of unnecessary weight, but for a big dude that was riding a smaller 20-inch bike, like if you look at these, like Andy Patterson was massive. So if you had this frame with this seat post on it, it would fit him. You know, that was the only way we made it work, because these guys were really big, running these top tubes that were probably, I don't know, they weren't 21 and a half or 22 inches like they are now. I don't know I don't know the specs, but I know they were much shorter bikes. A guy like me who's 5'6", I could pretty much jump on anything and just ride it. But Those taller dudes, I don't know how they did it. Oh, here we go. We got this Z2000. We're going to be checking out a CW test here in a few minutes, but here's the CW still banging out good bikes. And what is this? Motives? Oh, dude, look at Bob Harrow. I wonder if he regrets this post. But dude, these are awesome. I wonder who owned Motives. Was that? I wonder if you could see Bob Harrow's all over it. I wonder if he had anything to do with it, or if they just told him, "Hey, we need you to promote this stuff for us." This is really cool stuff. Definitely typical '80s clothes. You can see a lot of kind of the, you see a lot of the, what do you call it, fluorescent colors coming out and stuff like that. That's definitely '80s. Let's keep going. NBL Bicycle League, the sanction from coast to coast. Now, I only got to race NBL for a really, really short time. What happened is I'm from Northern California, so NBL wasn't like a big thing here. But what happened with NBL is the track that I was racing at was ABA, obviously. And one day, I guess the track operator just had enough of the ABA and he just converted us to NBL. And I mean, I remember showing up and he goes, "Okay, we're no longer ABA. You got to buy a new membership." And I'm like, "What?" And I remember being irritated, but I'm like, whatever. Now I had an NBL membership and an ABA membership. I never had the I never had the pleasure of racing an NBL national. I only raced my local track as NBL, and I did that for probably about a year, and then they converted right back to ABA again. Because what happens is when you're in Northern California, there's really just no NBL tracks. All this is East Coast, Midwest, so there wasn't really any place to race. So you needed to have an ABA license so that you could race the local tracks out there. So it wasn't like the best idea in the world. But that's not the first time it happened. The previous track operator I was racing Sonol BMX in Sonol, California. Prior to the NBL fiasco and all that, it was ran by these guys that started as an ABA track, and they decided we're done with ABA, and they got out of it, and they decided to create their own association, and they called it EBRA, which was Eagle Bicycle Racing Association. And honestly, guys, I don't know if it was a good idea for them business wise, but it was really cool for a little while because we had our own national series. They called it the Super Eagle Shootout. I have some trophies from it still. And they even created their own newsletter, and they were taking pictures of us racing and all their local, what we would consider our nationals. They would come and they would take photos, but our nationals were not big. I mean, we're talking 60 motos maybe, but it was still like a kind of a unique thing that they tried to do. When EBRA folded, our track just closed. And then for probably about 6 months, there was just nothing going on. And then a new guy took over. I think his name was Tom. I want to say Tom Wallace. He took over our track, brought back the ABA, and then we were back in business. But he was the same guy that made us go NBL and eventually put it back to ABA. That's a lot of long story. Sorry, guys. But that was kind of my experience with it. Profile cranks, love these. Had a set of these. We've looked at this ad before. This is kind of the same ad that's been running over and over and over again, but really, who cares? Because everybody knows the quality of these cranks. Here we go. Schwinn Levi NBL Grand Nationals. Now, the cool thing about this, and it's probably insignificant to a lot of people, but Levi's was a sponsor of the sport. Levi's being a huge corporate brand, it's kind of cool to see that. Now, how often do we see that now? Not really much. I mean, you've got your energy drink guys that are still out there, your Red Bull, Monster, and things like that. But we don't have a lot of corporate sponsors in our sport, and I think that's what's kind of missing. I think it's always been kind of missing, honestly, but it's definitely something that would be awesome if we had it. Oh, look, I love this picture of this GHP rider. Look how clean his bike is with the white and red, and the gear just looks perfect. That's nice. I saw some guy at Dirty Fest on YouTube racing a full GHP gear like this. It was really cool. The colors for GHP was really cool. There's your red line guy right there. Looks like Toby Henderson. He was on SE Racing at the time. That's really cool. Looks like he's on a cruiser right there. There's Toby there. And we'll just keep on going. GT. Got a little hutch action going on right here. I wonder if this was like, I think the guy's name was Monty. I forgot his last name, but he was the one that did the McDonald's commercial. There was a BMX commercial, and he was in it. He was like the star of it. It was a really cool commercial. I'd have to look that up on YouTube again to figure out who it was. Oh, here we go. Jason Burton, 13 and under cruiser. 13 and under cruiser? Wow, there wasn't a lot of cruiser riders. back then. All fully Diamondback. Is that a Diamondback? That is definitely not a Diamondback. I don't think Diamondback made cruisers. I wonder what frame this is he's running. Bet you it's like a Patterson or something like that. Oh, here we go. Here's Billy Griggs over here. Look at the intensity in Billy's face. Yeah, Billy was one of my kind of, I guess you could say the next generation favorite racer, because it all started out with Greg Hill, and then eventually I started really digging Billy Griggs, and his riding style is kind of what attracted me to Billy. All right, let's keep going. Oh, check it out, Scott Clark on Murray, and we got, it looks like Eric Group's about to land on him. Such a good picture. God, that's awesome. I wonder what these Murray guys rode. You know what I mean? Because you definitely know they're not riding the department store bikes. But the Murray uniforms were pretty sick. This is a black and white photo, but I love it. That's really cool. We got Eric Group here. And then check out Gary Ellis right there. Oh, wow. Listen to this. Hey, Eric, how do you feel about just missing out on the $8,000 Mongoose contingency? Oh, my God. $8 grand, 1985. And then we got Gary Ellis, Dee Leone. Factory red line. Let's keep going, guys, because we can't read everything, unfortunately. Here's a great shot. This one keeps popping up on Facebook. Sherry Elliott. Sherry Elliott has a huge following of fans. She showed up to the to that Frogtown Classic last year in Angels Camp, and she did some autographs and all that, and she was there on Saturday. I didn't make it until Sunday. I was disappointed because I wanted to meet Sherry. She's one of my favorite racers from back then as well. Plus, obviously, Skyway. So that's pretty awesome. Astron Racing. Not sure what this is, guys. I don't remember this frame, but high quality frame. This forks kind of look like Hutch forks, the way they bend like this. Looks like a pretty nice frame, though. Let's keep on going. Here we go. First class flights and economy fares. You got your Redline 600B. Looks like, well, it was $286, but they got a line through it here. Must have dropped the price. And then we've got the 700P, which was going for $299. And then these are all running one-piece cranks, but notice that they're advertising this set of chrome moly cranks right here. Looks like a three-piece crank. Oh, it's an option, so you can upgrade your bike with these cranks, which is odd because you would think they'd want to put flights on it. But if you put Redline flights on something like this, it's going to really, crank up the price of the whole bike. Let's keep on going. Oh, this is a cool picture. Once again, Rob Fade, Here's the reason Rob Fade is like killing it. He's here, and look at Greg's over here. He's like, I left GT. I started my own thing with GHP. I think it was a contract negotiation breakdown that he had with GT. And I think it was Rich Long had told Greg, if you go out on your own, I'm going to put you out of business. And you really can't poke at the bear, which was GT at the time. Although Greg's had so much clout and so many fans that him busting out on his own like that wasn't a horrible idea, in my opinion. We got Vector BMX again. Look at the price for that. $275 a complete bike, and that is a decent looking race bike. $275. Lose the reflectors, dude. I'm just kidding. But anytime you go and you pick up a new bike, I think it was required by law that they had to have the reflectors on the wheels behind the seat. Hold on, someone's knocking on my door, guys. Nobody was there. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, what I was saying though is it was by law, you had reflectors on the wheels, reflectors behind the seat. I think you had to even have a reflector up here. So if you bought a brand new bike, and of course you had them on the pedals, you had to like take all the reflectors off. I mean, that was like the first thing I would do as a kid. I was like, oh, I got to lose all these reflectors. All right. Oh, here we go. CW Z3000. So now we're getting into it. Now look at Pete Lonkarovich, big time rider. And this is Kirk. I'm going to try to say his last name. I think it was Christo or something like that. This dude was super rad. Super photogenic, showed up in a lot of ads, and I believe he became part of the BMX Action test team, which is really cool. This is a great picture. Great picture. All right, let's keep going. Oh, wow, look at this photo. Kirk Tuck. That is awesome. Awesome. I love the way the Haro looks on it. Typically, you would see 09 with CW, but that's just a great photo with the mirrored lenses, the helmet, the open face helmet, the Jofa, and that is just an awesome picture. Look how serious these guys got into their photos. This is the difference between BMX Action and everybody else. I mean, look at that. That is just amazing. If you want the killer photos, you have to You have to put your nose on the line. Fortunately, Gibby, the combo of Kirk and the saddle and the fine landing, or man, sorry guys, the way they word these things. Fine handling CW never wavered. I totally butchered that, but we get the point. There we go. We got the Diacomp brakes here. CW handlebars, super iconic handlebars. Again, people bag on these now, but I bought a set of these and I really liked them. They had standard and they had pro size, and I got the standard ones. And my friends were like, "Why didn't you get pro size?" The pro size ones just felt enormous, and when I got the standard ones, it felt like it just fit me better. And I eventually moved over to a pro size bar and stopped using CW handlebars, but those were really cool. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, come on, guys. Come on. How amazing is that? This must have been the shot that Gibby was taking, but this dude's grip is hitting the dirt. That's how far he leaned it over. Great shot. Oh my gosh. Guys, t-shirts, sweatshirts, posters, BMXA, the people who own the rights to this stuff, please, let's do something. Shoot, I'll market it for you. Let's keep going. Oh, here's the CW Freestyle bike. Now they put that in CW California Freestyle Complete bike. They added it to the test. But if you look at something like this, and then you look at something like this, to me, I'm speaking from a kid's perspective, I feel like this would be really heavy and hard to push around as opposed to how light and nimble that would be. But that's just my opinion. But now remember, you're not going to do half the tricks on this that you would on this. This thing is built to do tricks. But look how rad that picture is. Damn, love it. Here we go. This is Pete. Now this is Pete pre the muscles. This guy, it's weird when you look at these photos here and then you jump up maybe a year later, he got huge. The dude looked like Hulk all of a sudden. Now he's back racing and he's super lean and in shape. I think he was doing some mixed martial arts for a long time, and he came back to BMX, and the dude is in super good shape. And he has his own podcast, by the way. I only listened to one. He had an interview with somebody, which I can't remember who, and it wasn't too shabby. It wasn't too bad. I think it was like his first one, too. Here's the complete race bike. Not bad. Again, absent of the three-piece cranks, but very well done. I love the white color on it, even though you can't tell from the black and white. Chrome wheels. Damn, chrome wheels is a thing of the past. Nobody makes chrome wheels. When I try to put together a bike, I love the way chrome wheels look, and I just call me old. But if you take a look at my GHP, all black, and that's my race bike, and that's how they come now. I mean, you just can't get chrome wheels. You can get silver ones, and you really got to dig to find chrome wheels. I just love the way they look, especially when your bike is all clean. Oh man, I loved it. Got the Shimano DX, got a little little freewheel action here. That's a nice ad. And then we got IRC tires. These tires look really nice. IRC. Looks like they made motocross tires too. On that white PK Ripper with the blue and the 09. That's a great combo. Great color combination. And speaking of which, here's the landing gear forks. I'm going to tell you guys right now, landing gear forks are still one of my favorite looking forks. I love how it says landing gear right here. I've had a PK Ripper. Of course, I had some landing gear forks on it. And I remember when I was growing up, there was this kid, his name was Mike. I think it was Mike Hidalgo, actually. He had a GT. It was a chrome GT, and he had chrome landing gear forks on it, and that looked sick. I used to look at his bike and go, damn, that looks really good. I love these forks. These are so iconic. Okay, let's keep going. We want you. Sign up now for BMX Actions and Team GT new Wild, Woolly, and Absolute free subscription sweepstakes. So, I guess you get to be part of the GT team for a hot minute if you win the sweepstakes. I wonder who won this. So you sign up for this magazine, you get the subscription, you get to be on the team for the weekend, and you get all this gear. What? That is amazing. Somebody had to win it. I wish I knew who won that, and I wish they would have shown it in the magazine. Oh, I love this. Are you fast enough to earn your wings? These are Oakley grips. They don't show the grip itself, but I love the wing on the end cap of the grips. How clean is that? And those gloves are sick. That's awesome. Let's keep going. Guys, we're almost done with this magazine already, believe it or not. I heard about these shoulder pad things from JT Racing, and I know Greg ran them, Greg Hill. I think Toby Henderson had them. I seen Rick Palmer wear these. I believe they got paid to wear these, and you had to wear them on the outside of your jersey, so everybody can see them. I don't know if it was really necessary for BMX, but a lot of guys break their collarbones. Maybe that was a good thing. I don't know. I never I never ran that much protection, and I've been super lucky. I had minimal injuries as a BMX racer, but I never raced at the level that these guys raced. Tioga, got the one-piece crankhead and this little spider. And this is probably again not that expensive, and a good alternative to just running one like a one chain wheel, like a chrome chain wheel, because this allows you to change the gearing on your bike on a budget. So that's really cool. Like I would use a power disc a lot of times when I had a one piece cranks. And then we've got the JT ad. I always thought these helmets were really cool, and I heard Mike Miranda saying in one of his podcasts that this helmet was actually pretty heavy, which is kind of ironic that you would think that because it's an open face helmet, but he said it was pretty heavy. And I think Greg Hill agreed with him. He goes, yeah, they were pretty heavy. But I always thought those helmets were really cool. Oh, love this ad. Love this ad. We got Eddie Fiola here. And look at the white Skyway Tough Wheels against the yellow GT Performer. I mean, how sweet is this? Again, I would buy that as a poster. I'm seeing a lot of these photos right now, and I'm seeing them in my garage just all over the place. And I mean, that is just great, great photo. Let's keep on going. Akron seats, I think we covered that before. That's the second time I've seen that. Got a Tioga stem. Didn't know they made stems, the shape of BMX stems to come. Nice smooth looking stem though. Really smooth. Looks light too. Rockville BMX. They were pretty much iconic. Guys, we're almost done. This was a really short magazine. We got the sanitation department and a lot of ads here. Look at all the dyno stuff. Oh, okay. Brake guards. These didn't really serve a purpose. And I bought one of these for my bike because I just wanted to add something else to it. And it looked really cool. But again, it didn't really serve a purpose. And I never hit my leg on the back of my brake calipers, and that's what that was supposed to protect you from doing. For me, it just looked kind of cool, and I put it on again. 80s gimmicks, and I ran it until like the sticker started peeling off, and then it just didn't look as good. And then one day I realized I can't clean my frame very well. This thing's in the way, and I just finally just took it off. But it was a really cool idea though. Such a simple look, but the way I think helmets should be still. Wish we still had these options. We got the Terry cable ad. And then, oh, here we go, Unitron. These grips look awesome. We got Brian Patterson running the ad on this one. I love this. I like how they gave him the yellow and blue one. Kind of goes with his uniform. Patterson uniforms were sick. Love that look. He's got the polo shirt underneath. You know, quite a few guys actually did that. I think Anthony Sewell did that a lot too. We got the quick change pads. Oh, these pads were from California Light or Johar of California, and you can flip them and run them reverse. So you go, oh, I want to change the way they look, blah, blah, blah. Pretty cool. That looks like a rendering of Eddie King coming out of a phone booth. And guys, believe it or not, that is it. Here's the outtakes. We got a Skyway rider blasting over a lake jump. And that's it. That was a fast one today. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching. I got more to come, obviously. I've been actually sitting around my house thinking to myself, I'm going to run out of magazines. I'm going to have to get my hands on more magazines. So we're definitely going to work on that. So hopefully we'll get another one out soon. I want to thank you guys for watching as always. Please like and subscribe. I'll get more out as soon as I can. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you later.